Ride-hailing apps have become ubiquitous, promising convenience at our fingertips. However, a darker side to these platforms is emerging: the use of dark patterns. These are deceptive user interface designs that manipulate users into making decisions they might not otherwise make. Imagine opening your ride-hailing app and seeing an unbelievably low fare. You book it, excited about the steal. But then, the price mysteriously increases before you can confirm. This bait-and-switch tactic is just one example of the many dark patterns plaguing ride-hailing services in India. These tactics exploit our desire for a good deal and our reliance on these apps for transportation. This lack of transparency and fairness raises serious concerns about consumer rights in the digital age. It's time to shed light on these shady practices and demand better from the companies that have become an integral part of our daily lives. Dark patterns take many forms. One common tactic is forced action, where the app forces users to take unwanted steps, like canceling a ride due to an artificially inflated waiting time. Another is drip pricing, where hidden fees are incrementally added throughout the booking process, making the final price much higher than initially shown. These practices often leave consumers feeling cheated and frustrated. These manipulative tactics are not just unethical, they erode trust in the entire ride-hailing industry. When apps prioritize profits over transparency and fairness, they risk alienating the very users they depend on. Consumers deserve to know exactly what they're paying for and should not be tricked into spending more than they intended. A recent survey by LocalCircles paints a stark picture of the pervasiveness of dark patterns in India's ride-hailing industry. The survey, which gathered responses from 33,000 app-based taxi users across 269 districts, found that a staggering 80% of respondents had experienced dark patterns like bait and switch or forced action. Moreover, 40% reported encountering drip pricing, with hidden charges not disclosed upfront, affecting 42% of users. These figures are alarming and highlight the urgent need for greater scrutiny and regulation of the ride-hailing sector. The survey also brought to light a particularly concerning trend: potential price discrimination based on device type. Some users reported being charged higher fares on iPhones compared to Android devices for the same ride. This suggests that pricing algorithms might be unfairly targeting users based on their perceived purchasing power. The Indian government has taken notice of these unfair practices. In response to the survey findings, Union Consumer Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has ordered an investigation into the alleged differential pricing based on device type, calling it a potential unfair trade practice. This is a welcome step, as it demonstrates the government's commitment to protecting consumers from exploitation in the digital marketplace. The government has previously issued guidelines prohibiting dark patterns. However, more needs to be done to ensure these guidelines are effectively implemented and enforced. Consumers must be empowered to recognize and report these manipulative practices. Transparency in pricing, clear communication of terms and conditions, and easy-to-understand user interfaces are crucial for a fair and trustworthy ride-hailing experience. It's time for ride-hailing companies to prioritize ethical practices and put an end to these shady tactics. The road to a fairer ride-hailing experience requires collective action from the government, consumer protection agencies, and the companies themselves.